Jealousy is a curious thing, isn't it? It hides itself well, often masked by smiles and pleasantries, cloaked in a guise of camaraderie or even admiration. Yet beneath that surface, it simmers, a quiet, corrosive force that can alter the dynamics of any relationship. It is one of the most primal emotions, deeply rooted in our instincts. But when it lingers unchecked, it reveals itself in subtle, often insidious ways. And the most disarming thing about it often comes from those closest to you. Friends, colleagues, family members, the very people you expect to celebrate your victories. Let me tell you, nothing reveals the soul of another like your own success. The light of accomplishment has a strange way of casting shadows around you. It forces people to confront their own insecurities, their own unfulfilled dreams, and their own fulfilled dreams, and their own perceived inadequacies. Suddenly, your achievements, your happiness, or even your potential can become a mirror reflecting what they wish they had or fear they'll never attain. And in that reflection, jealousy is born. The first sign is subtle but unmistakable, the backhanded compliment. It's that moment when someone praises you, but their words feel like they come with a hidden blade. Wow, you're really lucky things worked out for you, they say, as though luck, not effort, carved your path. Or it must be nice to have it so easy, as if your struggles, sacrifices, and sleepless nights didn't exist. These comments, seemingly innocent, are loaded with the weight of resentment. Pay attention to the tone, the fleeting look in their eyes. Jealousy rarely announces itself loudly. It thrives in the understated. Another sign emerges in the form of undermining behavior. They may offer unsolicited advice, not to guide you, but to plant seeds of doubt. Are you sure you're ready for that promotion? It sounds overwhelming. Or that project sounds ambitious. Do you think you're taking on too much? Their words are laced with a subtle intent to make you second guess yourself, to dim your light so theirs might seem brighter in comparison. They aren't trying to protect you. They're trying to slow you down, to tether your wings before you soar too high. Then there's the gossip. Oh, how jealousy loves to whisper. The jealous don't confront you directly. They operate in shadows, spreading half-truths or outright lies when you're not around. They sow doubt in others' minds about your character, your capabilities, or your intentions. It's not enough for them to harbor resentment. They want others to feel it too. They seek validation for their jealousy, hoping that if others echo their sentiments, it will justify their own insecurities. But the tragedy is, the louder they whisper, the more they expose their own inner turmoil. A fourth sign is their inability to genuinely celebrate your successes. Watch closely. When you share good news, their congratulations feel hollow, their smiles forced. They may quickly change the subject, redirecting the conversation to their own achievements or struggles. It's not that they're unaware of their reaction, they simply can't bring themselves to share in your joy because it magnifies their own perceived inadequacies. Genuine happiness for someone else requires a sense of security within oneself, and jealousy is the antithesis of that. Perhaps one of the most painful signs is the silent competition. You didn't sign up for it, but they've turned your relationship into a race you never agreed to run. They begin mimicking your choices, trying to outdo you at every turn. You buy a new car and suddenly they're flaunting a more expensive one. You land a promotion and they're boasting about some vague, undefined opportunity they're pursuing. It's exhausting because what you once thought was mutual support transforms into an unspoken battle of egos. Jealousy also reveals itself in criticism disguised as concern. They'll nitpick your decisions, pointing out potential flaws under the pretense of helping you. I don't know if this is the right time for you to take that step, they might say, not because they want to see you succeed, but because they hope you'll falter. Their concern is a thinly veiled attempt to erode your confidence, to make you doubt the very strengths that have brought you this far. It's easy to be angry when you recognize these signs, to feel betrayed or hurt by those you trusted. But here's the thing about jealousy, it's never really about you. It's a reflection of their own inner struggle, their battle with self-worth. As the saying goes, the tallest blade of grass is the first to be cut down by the scythe. When you rise, you disrupt the landscape. forcing others to reckon with their own perceived shortcomings. Your growth highlights their stagnation. Your success reminds them of their unfulfilled aspirations. And yet, it's not your responsibility to dim your light to make others comfortable. You don't shrink to fit someone else's shadow. As you navigate these moments, remember to anchor yourself in your own truth. Your path is yours alone, and it's paved with your hard work, resilience, and vision. Jealousy may try to distract you, to pull you into its murky depths, but you have the choice to rise above it. One of the most powerful things you can do when confronted with jealousy is to remain steadfast in your integrity. Don't let their negativity taint your spirit. As they say, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Continue to shine, to inspire, to lead. Let their jealousy be a reminder not of your flaws, but of your impact. After all, people don't envy mediocrity. They envy potential, excellence, and authenticity. It's also worth considering a compassionate perspective. Jealousy often stems from pain, from a sense of lack or fear of inadequacy. While it's not your role to fix anyone, understanding this can help you approach the situation with grace. Boundaries are essential, yes, but so is empathy. Recognize their struggle, but don't let it derail your journey. In the end, jealousy is a test not of your worth, but of your resolve. It challenges you to stay true to yourself, to rise above pettiness and negativity, and to remain focused on your own growth. As the poet Rumi once said, don't be satisfied with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. Your story is yours to write, and no amount of jealousy can take that away from you. Let it fuel you, not define you. Let it remind you that you're on a path worth walking, one that's uniquely yours, one that only you can tread. Jealousy is a strange, corrosive force. It creeps in quietly, uninvited, and often unnoticed at first. But once it takes root, it begins to distort everything. It's not just about the person who harbors it. Jealousy has a way of infiltrating relationships, undermining trust, and disrupting the peace you've worked so hard to build. But here's the thing, jealousy isn't something you can control in others. It's their burden to carry, not yours. What you can control, however, is how you respond to it. How you navigate the silent but tangible tension it creates is what defines your strength and character. The first step in responding to jealousy is understanding that it's rarely about you. People aren't envious of who you are. They're envious of what you represent. Maybe it's your success, your happiness, or your potential. Maybe it's the way you carry yourself with confidence, the way you dream unapologetically, or the way you refuse to settle for mediocrity. Whatever the reason, their jealousy stems from their own insecurities. As the old saying goes, people throw stones at trees that bear fruit. You are that tree, and their envy is a reflection of what they feel they lack. When jealousy rears its head, it's tempting to shrink yourself to avoid conflict, to downplay your achievements, to be smaller, quieter, less visible. Don't. Never apologize for your success, your ambition, or your joy. The world doesn't need more people hiding their light. It needs more people brave enough to shine. If someone's jealousy makes them uncomfortable, that discomfort is their invitation to grow, not your reason to dim your light. You weren't put here to live beneath the weight of someone else's insecurities. As Marianne Williamson once wrote, your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Still, responding to jealousy isn't about arrogance or dismissiveness. It's about quiet strength. You don't need to defend yourself against someone's envy, nor do you need to engage in their silent competition. What you need to do is remain steadfast in your integrity. Integrity, after all, is your greatest shield. It allows you to rise above petty behavior without stooping to the level of those who would drag you down. It reminds you that your worth isn't tied to someone else's opinion of you, but to the values and principles you hold dear. In dealing with jealousy, boundaries become essential. Not all relationships can survive the strain of envy, and that's okay. It's not your responsibility to fix someone else's emotional state. If their jealousy turns toxic, if it manifests as manipulation, gossip, or passive-aggressive behavior, you owe it to yourself to step back. Boundaries aren't about punishing the other person. They're about protecting your peace. It's a way of saying, I respect myself enough to not be consumed by this negativity. And when you set boundaries, do so with clarity and firmness, but also with compassion. Remember, their struggle is real, even if it's not your burden to bear. There will be times when jealousy hurts deeply, especially when it comes from those closest to you. Friends who should be cheering for you, family members who should be proud. It's hard to reconcile the love you feel for them with the resentment you sense from them. In moments like these, it helps to remember that jealousy isn't hatred, it's pain. It's a cry from their soul, a reflection of their own fears and frustrations. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help you approach the situation with empathy. Compassion doesn't mean tolerating toxic behavior. It means choosing not to let their envy poison your heart. One of the most powerful ways to disarm jealousy is through kindness. It's not easy, and it's certainly not our first instinct, but kindness has a way of diffusing tension. When you respond to jealousy with grace instead of defensiveness, you shift the dynamic. You remind the other person, whether consciously or unconsciously, that their envy is misplaced, that there's no competition here, no race, no scarcity of success or happiness. Your success doesn't diminish theirs. Your light doesn't extinguish theirs. As the saying goes, a rising tide lifts all boats. But kindness doesn't mean allowing yourself to be mistreated. It's possible to be kind and firm at the same time. It's possible to show understanding without becoming a doormat. It's possible to acknowledge someone's pain without making it your responsibility. This balance, this ability to hold compassion in one hand and self-respect in the other, is what will carry you through. There's a subtle art to responding to jealousy without letting it consume you. It's about staying true to who you are, even when others project their insecurities onto you. It's about refusing to engage in negativity while also refusing to back down. And it's about finding strength in your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. Jealousy thrives on fear and doubt, but it wilts in the presence of confidence and clarity. The truth is, jealousy isn't going anywhere. It's a part of human nature, as old as time itself. You can't control how others feel, and you can't prevent them from envying you, but you can control how you react. You can choose to rise above it, to stay focused on your own journey, to let their envy be a reminder of your progress rather than a stumbling block. You can choose to live your life in a way that's authentic, courageous, and unapologetically you. And here's the thing, the more you succeed, the more jealousy you'll encounter. But isn't that a sign you're doing something right? No one envies mediocrity. No one feels threatened by someone who isn't making waves. If you're facing jealousy, it means you're growing, achieving, and becoming. It means you're stepping into your potential, even if it makes others uncomfortable. And that's a beautiful thing. In the end, jealousy is a test not of your character, but of theirs. It's a test of how they handle their insecurities, how they respond to their own feelings of inadequacy. But for you, it's an opportunity to grow stronger, to build resilience, to practice compassion without compromising your self-worth, an opportunity to rise above the noise and keep your eyes fixed on the horizon. Let their jealousy be their burden, not yours. Let their envy fuel your resolve, not your doubt. And let your success be the quiet, steady answer to all the questions their jealousy asks. As you move forward, remember this. The world doesn't need more people hiding their light. It needs more people like you, bold, brilliant, and unafraid to shine.